College Link program is an ancillary support program that supports students on the spectrum. We provide services beyond the legally mandated accommodations, things that support students in the 4 domains of academics, social skills, independent living skills, and career preparation skills. Our goal is always to move students from a place of relative dependence to relative independence and provide them with a holistic college experience.
I'm Kevin Wang. I'm an environmental studies major and I want to become an environmental writer.
This is Raj Patel, and my major is business administration with concentrations in accounting and finance.
My name is Michael Yip. I'm an illustration major and I'm currently thinking about being a possible animator or a comic book artist.
So my name is Jacob Goldstein. I am a geography major and a music minor. I hope to get a career in city planning.
My name is Christopher Verga. I'm a sophomore and my major is computer science, and I'm thinking about a career involving programming or some science.
I'm James Ward. I'm a philosophy major and I'm thinking of becoming a librarian in the future.
My name is Naveen Ramani and my majors are computer science and mathematics. And the type of career that I would like in the future is software development.
I think the problem is with that, with people on the autism spectrum having trouble finding work is, well, it's complicated. To start off, I don't think people have particularly the best understanding of autism.
Just from employers, they might not want a person on the spectrum because they might think to be more difficult, and also like sometimes we don't have the best social skills, so we might come off as different, or like we might not be able to handle the interview process.
People struggle to see how people with ASD struggle with social norms and basically the format of like a lot of careers.
A lot of information that people believe which isn't really that accurate probably has something to do with it. A lot of the time there's a sort of human component where some people just aren't that great with other people, and that doesn't really reflect on their skills, but it can make interviews a lot harder, and then it's harder to get a job.
There's a lot of barriers that individuals with autism face with obtaining a job. There's pretty much barriers that hit them at every stage of the process. So from the beginning with looking at job descriptions and figuring out if they meet the minimum qualifications, a lot of times individuals will take a very black and white interpretation, and if they don't meet 100% of the minimum qualifications, not even apply to a job. So the idea of interpreting job postings and really understanding what you can and cannot apply for and what you're eligible for, that creates a barrier just by the way job descriptions are written. During the actual application process, sometimes it can be misleading and difficult for individuals to really process what it is they're asking for, which can lead to incomplete applications or applications that just aren't filled out correctly.
So from what I've seen with our students, they're so capable and they are so talented, and if they're placed in the right type of environment that feels comfortable and safe to them, they can really thrive. Unfortunately, I've seen, even in just classroom settings, where there will be one thing or a couple things that are just, a little out of their comfort zone, which means that they're not working productively or they're not meeting their fullest potential. And from the outside viewer's perspective, that might look like they're incapable or they're not, as skilled as someone else, when it's really just a difference.
I think the CLP Salesforce Partnership does a lot to address the needs of individuals with ASD who are unemployed or underemployed, not just our students, but the population in general. The beautiful thing about this event is it really gives the students the experience from start to finish in terms of applying to a job. Everything from locating the job description to reading it to seeing if they meet the minimum qualifications to walking in the door and understanding what the culture of that place is, what questions they should ask in the interview, how to respond to typical interview questions, what the importance of learning about a product that a company makes before you walk into the interview, getting to interact with real professionals who are doing the work and seeing what the day-to-day is like. That whole experience from start to finish is something that can't be replicated in a college setting. It's not something that can be taught in a class, and the experience it provides the students is invaluable.
I have been to 2 Salesforce days, one last year in 2018 and this year in 2019.
Awesome. And can you tell us what your Salesforce visits entailed, what you did when you were there?
Yeah, they talked about different career opportunities in Salesforce.
Went up, we did some interviews, there were some meetings, presentations and whatnot.
That helped me look at employment options and help me discover what my options for employment are and how there are career paths that can help people on the autism spectrum.
Well, the CLP and Salesforce Day it's one of the biggest highlights of our summer, and it's something that all of our students really look forward to. The event really starts before the event. There's a lot of barriers that come up with the application process, but when you're applying to jobs, that really starts with finding a job posting, processing the job posting, learning about the company, learning about their product, and that begins actually before we begin the CLP Salesforce Day. And so that really sets the stage for our students to learn about what goes into applying to jobs and get help navigating that procedure before we even set foot in the door.
I actually got to go to the Salesforce Day for the first time this year. I know it's been going on for a while. It was so exciting, like for me individually, just to go up and see what Salesforce Tower looks like and see how they operate and learn more about their business, but also just to really work with their program and see how they're working with individuals with disabilities in the workplace.
Then on the day of the event, it begins with a tour of the facility. We learn about the products that Salesforce creates. We learn a little bit more about corporate culture. And then we move into a series of mock interviews where Salesforce employees are paired with CLP students and they participate in mock interviews for the job postings that they located ahead of time.
I didn't even know that was something the company offered, and I loved seeing that they're so involved.
Do you feel like that those mock interviews helped?
I think so, yeah, they help with practice and learning about what I can do in an interview.
What I was asked was things like, I don't know, what do I consider my strong points in terms of skills? What am I good at? What am I not so good at? What sort of career would probably work best for me?
Do you feel like it prepared you more for job interviews?
I think so. Even though I didn't succeed in it, I know what to expect now.
I think that Salesforce visit helped you feel more prepared and ready to get a job when you start looking out?
Yes, especially with the mock interviews.
You feel like that was the most helpful part?
Yes, it was the most helpful part, as now I think about it, was the mock interview.
I'm so grateful that there are companies out there who may seem very busy and high-powered, but are also willing and excited to work with our students. You know, they can really see the talents and the skills that they provide in a unique setting. And they're also just very happy to provide whatever accommodation they may need. Because I got to see just some of how their workforce operated, and it seems like productivity is really important to them, which makes sense. But that also means it's not just about like the numbers or however that works. I'm not in sales, but it's also about the happiness of their workers and the camaraderie between their workers. And I can just anticipate that if any of our students got hired there, they would really be like welcomed into a family.
And what do you feel are your best strengths as an employee?
Writing skills, reading skills, creativity, planning, and just knowledge.
To use coding and languages to come up with algorithms for developing software.
Motivated, it might feel like tough, but you just gotta do it. Once you do it, there's nothing to it.